Hello everyone, today we're going to study lessons 3 and 4 of Unit 2 titled Memories. So before doing anything we have to do a quick revision on what was previously discussed. Okay, so let's start. Rewrite the following sentences using the words in brackets. The first one, scientists were very confused by the results of the experiment. Use surprised. So we know that this adjective, surprised, comes with the preposition by. So the sentence is going to be something like this. Scientists were surprised by the results of the experiment. So the preposition by comes with this adjective, surprised. Number 2. We were very frightened when the lion started running towards us. Use scared. So scared is the same as frightened. So it's gonna be something like this. We were scared when the lion started running towards us. Number 3. John was extremely happy when he won the prize. Use proud. So it's going to be something like this. John was proud when he won the prize. So I can say John was proud of winning the prize. John was proud to win the prize. So now let's move to this grammar lesson. The past tense contrast. So in this lesson we are going to study the 3 tenses used to express past events. The first is the past simple tense. The second one is the past continuous tense. And the third one is the past perfect tense. So let's start with the past simple tense. So the past simple tense is the second form of the verb. And of course, we have 2 kinds of verbs. We have regular verbs and we have irregular verbs. For regular verbs, like these sentences here, she played all night long. So we added ed for the base form of the verb. So play, played. The doctor administered the drug. We added ed. We walked for a mile last night. We added ed. So for regular verbs we add ed to change them to the second form. But for irregular verbs we don't add ed. Something like this. India lost the match by 3 runs. So lost is the second form of the verb lose. I spoke to her yesterday. So spoke is the second form of the verb speak. We ran to catch the bus. Ran is the second form of the verb run. So, we use the past simple for actions or events that happened one after another. So, talking about a series of actions, like this example here. I got home, sat down, and turned on TV. So now let's move to the second tense, the past continuous tense. So the past continuous tense is formed by the verb to be in the past tense, was and were, plus the gerund, or the base form of the verb plus ing. So, I, he, she, it, plus was, plus verb ing. You, we, they, plus were, plus verb ing. So, we use this tense to talk about an action that was in progress at a specific time in the past. So I can say, I was doing my homework between 7 and 8 o'clock yesterday. So here we can use the past continuous to set the scene. What do I mean by this? Take this example here. Okay, so Ahmed, my friend, and I had a conversation at the park yesterday. At this time, it was raining and the birds were singing. So this past continuous tense, the birds were singing. This is the background for this conversation that happened between Ahmed, my friend, and I. So here it was raining and the wind was blowing. So here we can use the past continuous to describe a background event and the past simple to describe an action or event that interrupted it. For example, while we were staying at the campsite, somebody stole Mona's camera. So this action, somebody stole Mona's camera, is the shorter action that interrupted this long action, we were staying at the campsite. So we use when and while to link these two tenses, the past continuous tense as the longer action and the simple past tense as the shorter action together. So here I was watching TV when Jem knocked the door. So this action, Jem knocked the door, interrupted this long action, watching TV. I was watching TV. When Jem knocked the door, I was watching TV. Jem knocked the door while I was watching TV. While I was watching TV, Jem knocked the door. So now let's move to the third tense, the past perfect tense. Had plus the past participle. So when do we use the past perfect tense? We use it when we have two actions that took place in the past, but one of these actions took place first and the other followed it. So this action that took place first, we're going to put it in the past perfect tense, had plus the past participle. But this second action that followed it, we're going to put it in the past simple tense. For example, I noticed that he had left his box behind. So at first he left his box. Then I noticed it. So he had left his box. This is the first action. He had left his box. And the second action is I noticed it. We put it in the past simple tense. So I noticed the action. I noticed that he had left his box behind. Okay, so we use the past perfect to talk about an event that happened before another event in the past. For example, I wasn't hungry because I had already eaten a pizza. So earlier in the past, I ate a pizza, and that's why I didn't feel hungry at this time after that. So this action of eating the pizza happened first. That's why we put it in the past perfect tense. And that action of not being hungry, we put it in the past simple tense because that happened after it. So notice here that with regular verbs, the past simple and the past participle form of the past perfect are the same. Yes, crash, okay, crash is a regular verb. So the second form of it is the same as the third form of it. So crash, crashed, crashed. So, however, with irregular verbs, the past simple and the past participle form of the past perfect are often different. Yes, so here is the second form of the verb see. But the third form is different, seen. And of course we use the past participle in the past perfect tense. Okay. So let's now move to this exercise here. So number 1, was the film good? Use enjoy. So this verb enjoy is different from this verb was. verb to be. So in order to make a yes or no question, we are going to use did. So it's going to be something like this. Did you enjoy the film? Number 2. When he was going to school, he met Ahmed. Use while. Of course, after while we put the past continuous tense, the longer action. So it's going to be something like this. He met Ahmed while he was going to school. Number 3. We had dinner at 8 p.m. You called at 8:05 p.m. So of course, this action, we had dinner at 8 p.m. This was in progress. So we're going to use the past continuous tense. And the second one, you called at 8:05. This is the shorter one. We're going to put it in the past simple tense. So it's going to be something like this. We were having dinner when you called. Choose the correct answer. Number 1. When I was a child, we didn't to go on exotic holidays. So it's going to be, we didn't used to go on exotic holidays. Number 2. My parents a cottage last summer holiday. So it's going to be rented, because last is the key word for the past simple tense. Number 3. We the motorway and drove the rest of the way on the narrow country lanes. On narrow country lanes. So we the motorway. So we left the motorway. So this is just a narration of a past or past actions. Number 4. The steep hill before the cottage. Wet, but now it is dry. So it's going to be used to become. Number 5. We the car the last 100 meters up the hill. So it's going to be we pushed. Okay, so that's it. Let's move to lesson 4. So now let's do this quick revision. Choose the correct tenses. Number 1. Dad broke a glass while he the washing up. So Dad broke a glass while he was doing the washing up. Number 2. Tom was driving home when he the car. So Tom was driving home when he crashed the car. So here we have some new adjectives. Let's study the meaning of each one. So let's start with the first one. Depressed. Very unhappy. Often for a long period of time. So very sad and without hope. An example? She felt very depressed about the future. Dismayed. Feeling strong disappointment and sadness. An example? He was dismayed at the change in his old friend. Ecstatic. To be excited, to be extremely happy. An example? Sally was ecstatic about her new job. Irritated. The feeling of being angry or annoyed. An example? She was getting more and more irritated at his comments. Embarrassed. Feeling uncomfortable or shy because of something silly you have done, or because people are looking at you, and etc. Example, he felt embarrassed at being the center of attention. So now let's study these new words. Boredom. Feeling and thinking something is not interesting anymore. Example, unemployment can drive you mad with boredom. Depressing, making you feel very sad and without enthusiasm. A depressing sight or experience. So, this sight or this experience makes you feel depressed. Fury, great anger. Example, her eyes blazed with fury. Homesickness, sad because you're away from home and you miss it. She soon got over her homesickness. Confused, not able to think clearly, to find something difficult to understand. So, example, people are confused about all the different labels on food these days. Petrified, to be very frightened. Example, I am petrified of snakes. So now let's do this exercise to make sure that you got it all. Let's start. Rewrite the following sentences using the words in brackets. Number 1. I have a feeling of strong disappointment and sadness. Use dismayed. So, it's going to be something like this. I am dismayed. Number 2. Mom always gives my little brother candy but doesn't give me. Use jealous. So, I am jealous of my little brother. Number 3. It's my wedding today, so I'm very happy. Use delighted. So, I am delighted because it's my wedding today. So that's it for today. I hope you understand this lesson. Goodbye.